Let me ask you something very personal. When was the last time you felt truly strong on your legs? Not just able to walk, but confident, stable, like your body was actually working with you instead of against you. For a lot of people watching this right now, that feeling is becoming a distant memory. Maybe you've noticed your ankles look a little swollen by the end of the day. Maybe your legs feel heavy and tired, even when you haven't done much. Maybe you've had a moment where you stood up too fast and had to grab something to steady yourself. If any of that sounds familiar, please don't skip ahead, because what I'm about to share with you today could literally change how the next 20, even 30 years of your life feel. And it all starts with something you probably do every single morning. You drink a glass of water. But here's what nobody told you, and what most doctors don't have time to explain in a 2-minute appointment. After the age of Luli, plain water alone is often not enough to keep your blood flowing properly, your muscles strong, or your legs carrying you the way they should. Today, on EverStrong, we're going to talk about exactly what to add to your water and your daily routine to protect your circulation, strengthen your legs, and keep you moving and independent for years to come. Stay with me. This one is important. Think about your grandparents, or maybe even your parents. There's a good chance that as they got older, they started complaining about dry skin, stiff joints, muscle cramps at night, feeling foggy or tired for no reason. And the family would say, "You need to drink more water," and they did. They drank more water, and things didn't really change. Here's why. As we age, our bodies lose something called osmoreceptor sensitivity. Now, that's a big term, but it just means this: the part of your brain that sends the signal, "Hey, you're thirsty," becomes less accurate after 60. So by the time you feel thirsty, you're already mildly dehydrated, your blood has become slightly sicker, your cells are already struggling to get the oxygen and nutrients they need. And here's the part that matters most for your legs and circulation. When your blood is thicker and your cells aren't getting proper hydration, your blood vessels have to work harder, your heart pumps harder, and the muscles in your legs, which are already fighting gravity all day, start to ache, cramp, and fatigue faster. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults are chronically underhydrated, and not because they're not drinking enough fluids, but because plain water alone doesn't carry the electrolytes needed to actually get fluid into your cells. Your kidneys become less efficient with age, your body holds on to less water, and many common medications for blood pressure, diabetes, even allergies, are diuretics, meaning they flush fluids out of your body even faster. So you can be drinking 8 glasses of plain water a day and still be functionally dehydrated at the cellular level. The first thing to add to your morning water is a small pinch, just a pinch, of high-quality sea salt or pink Himalayan salt, not table salt, sea salt or Himalayan salt. This isn't about sodium, it's about the trace minerals, magnesium, potassium, calcium, that help water actually enter your cells instead of just passing through. One small pinch in your first glass of the day, simple, free, powerful. Now, that's just the beginning, because what's happening inside your blood vessels is an even bigger part of the story, and that's coming up next. And I promise you, once you understand what happens to circulation after 60, you'll never look at a glass of water the same way again. I want you to picture a man named Robert. Robert is 68. He's not unhealthy, he walks his dog every morning, eats pretty well, takes his medications. But lately, his legs feel like they're wearing invisible weights. He sits down to watch TV, and an hour later when he stands up, his feet are puffy. His legs ache. He grabs the arm of the chair just to get up steady. His doctor told him his circulation wasn't great, but gave no specific advice beyond move more. What Robert didn't know, and what could have changed everything, is that his blood vessels themselves had been changing quietly for years. Here's what's happening inside the body after 60. Your arteries and veins, the highways your blood travels through, naturally become less elastic with age. It's called arterial stiffness. The walls thicken slightly. The vessels don't expand and contract as easily as they once did. This means blood doesn't move as freely, especially to the extremities, your hands, your feet, your lower legs. At the same time, the tiny valves in your leg veins are the ones that push blood back up toward your heart against gravity start to weaken. Blood begins to pool in the lower legs. That's where swelling, aching, heaviness, and those dreaded nighttime leg cramps come from. And here's something that might surprise you. Poor circulation doesn't just affect your legs, it directly affects your brain. When blood flow to the brain slows, memory and focus suffer. Scientists now believe that reduced cerebral blood flow is one of the earliest signs of cognitive decline, so your legs and your brain are more connected than most people realize. Every decade after luge, arterial stiffness typically increases by about 10 to 15% if nothing is done to address it. That's not a small number. That's the difference between walking your grandchild to school and needing someone to help you across the parking lot. Towards nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a molecule your body produces naturally, and it's one of the most powerful blood vessel relaxers known to science. It signals your blood vessels to widen and become more flexible. It literally improves circulation from the inside, and the beautiful thing, you can boost nitric oxide production dramatically through food and simple drinks. The number one way is to add a tablespoon of beetroot powder to your water or morning smoothie. Beetroot is one of the richest dietary sources of nitrates, which your body converts directly into nitric oxide. Multiple studies, including research from the British Journal of Nutrition, show that just one serving of beetroot juice significantly increases blood flow within 2 to 4 hours, and with consistent daily use, the effects compound over time. This is not a supplement trend. This is backed by decades of cardiovascular research, and it's something you can add to your water starting today. Coming up, we're going to talk about the mineral that most seniors are dangerously deficient in, and how that one deficiency is silently stealing the strength right out of your muscles. This next one shocked me when I first learned it. I had to check it 3 times before I believed it. Engagement prompt: before we go further, drop your age and country in the comments right now. I read every single one, and I want to know, are you experiencing any of these leg symptoms we talked about? You'd be surprised how many people watching right now are going through the exact same thing. Martha is 72. She lives alone. She's been active her whole life. She walked every day. She gardened. She kept herself moving. But over the past 2 years, she started noticing that her legs just didn't feel as strong. She'd come home from her walk and feel completely drained. She started holding the handrail going downstairs, something she never needed before. She had her blood work done, everything looked normal. But here's the problem: most standard blood panels don't measure the one mineral that could explain everything. Martha was experiencing. That mineral is magnesium, and the research on this is staggering. Studies show that approximately 50 to 60% of adults over 60 don't get enough magnesium. Not because they don't try, but because magnesium content in our food supply has declined significantly over the past 50 years due to soil depletion. The vegetables your grandparents ate had 2 to 3 times more magnesium than what you can buy in a grocery store today. So what does magnesium actually do? Magnesium is involved in enzymatic processes in the body. But for your legs and circulation specifically, here's what matters: it relaxes blood vessels, reducing resistance and improving flow. It's essential for muscle contraction and relaxation. Without enough magnesium, muscles cramp, twitch, and fatigue easily. It supports energy production at the cellular level, so your legs literally have more fuel to work with. It helps regulate blood pressure, keeping your cardiovascular system working efficiently. A landmark study in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that higher magnesium intake was associated with lower risk of arterial stiffness, better leg muscle function, and reduced risk of falls in adults over luge. As you get older, your kidneys excrete more magnesium. Many medications, including common ones for blood pressure, acid reflux, and diabetes, further deplete magnesium stores. This creates a quiet, invisible cycle. The older you get, the harder your body works to maintain circulation, and the less magnesium you have to support that work. The result? Muscle weakness, leg cramps, fatigue, poor balance, and over time falls. Falls are the #1 cause of injury-related death in adults over 65, and magnesium deficiency is one of the most underappreciated risk factors. Add magnesium-rich foods to your daily routine. The best sources include dark leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard, pumpkin seeds, almonds, avocado, and dark chocolate. Yes, dark chocolate. For your water, a teaspoon of magnesium glycinate powder is the most bioavailable and gentle form for older adults. It dissolves easily and won't cause digestive upset the way magnesium oxide can. Talk to your doctor before adding any supplement, especially if you take medications. But know this: getting more magnesium from food is always safe. always smart, and always worth it. Now I want to talk about something that has an almost immediate effect on leg strength and stability, and most people overlook or completely ignoring it. What comes next is arguably the most underrated leg strengthening strategy for seniors, and it takes less than 5分钟 use a day. You've probably heard someone say, I used to be strong, but I'm just old now. Let me push back on that gently. Because old doesn't have to mean weak. There is a specific biological process that accelerates muscle loss after 60, and it has a name: sarcopenia. The gradual loss of muscle mass and strength that happens as we age. By age 70, the average person has lost 15 to 20% of their muscle mass by 80, up to 30% or more if nothing is done. And here's the cruel irony. Your legs, the biggest muscle group in your body, lose mass fastest, because most of us sit more than we move, we skip the stairs, we rest more, and without the muscle mass to support your joints and maintain your balance, everything becomes harder. Walking, standing, getting up, going up steps, bending to pick something off the floor. Your muscles need protein to rebuild and maintain themselves, but after 60, something called anabolic resistance sets in. That means your muscles become less responsive to the protein you eat. You need more protein than you did at 40, and it needs to be better timed. Research from the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging shows that older adults should aim for 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, significantly more than the general recommendation, and they should spread it out across meals, not save it all for dinner. Here's a morning drink that combines everything we've discussed: hydration, nitric oxide, magnesium, and muscle-feeding protein in one simple routine. Start with 10 ounces of water, add your pinch of sea salt. Add 1 tablespoon of beetroot powder, add 1 teaspoon of magnesium glycinate powder. Drink that first thing when you wake up, before coffee, before anything else. Then, within 30 分钟 use of waking, have a protein-rich breakfast: 2 to 3 eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, smoked salmon, any combination that gets you 25 to 35 grams of protein in that first meal. This single morning routine, if done consistently, has been shown in multiple studies to improve leg strength markers, reduce muscle cramping, and improve balance in adults over 65 to 80 6 to 8 weeks, not years, weeks, after an overnight fast. Your muscles are in a breakdown state. Every hour you delay proper nutrition in the morning is another hour your body is pulling from your muscle tissue for energy. The older you are, the less you can afford that. The recovery window shrinks, the loss compounds. So this isn't about fancy supplements. It's about working with your biology, not against it. And speaking of working with your biology, the final section today may be the most important thing I share, because it ties together everything we've covered, and it directly affects not just your legs, not just your heart, but your brain, your independence, and your quality of life for every year that comes next. Don't go anywhere. What I'm about to share has been called one of the most significant longevity discoveries of the last decade. And it's something you can start doing tomorrow morning. I want you to think about what independence means to you, not abstractly. Really think about it. Being able to drive yourself to the grocery store, being able to walk to the mailbox without worrying, getting up from the floor if you drop something, playing with your grandchildren on the ground, not from a chair, living in your own home, on your own terms, for as long as you choose. That's what we're really talking about today. Because here's the truth that most health content never says out loud: the decline of your legs is the beginning of the end of your independence, and the decline of blood flow to your brain is the beginning of the end of who you are. That's not meant to frighten you, it's meant to wake you up with enough time to do something about it. In 2019, researchers at the University of British Columbia published a groundbreaking study in the journal Neurology. They found that older adults who maintained strong leg muscle function had significantly better cognitive performance, better memory, better processing speed, better executive function than those with weaker legs. The connection was so strong that leg strength became one of the predictive markers researchers used to estimate brain health a decade in advance. Let that sink in for a moment. Your legs are telling your brain's future. Here's the science, and it's fascinating. Your leg muscles, especially when they contract during movement, release chemicals called myokines. These are muscle-made signaling molecules that travel through the bloodstream directly to the brain. One of the most important is called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Scientists call it miracle growth for the brain. BDNF stimulates the growth of new brain cells, protects existing neurons, and enhances the connections between them. The primary trigger for BDNF release: leg muscle activity, walking, squatting, standing, climbing stairs. Every time you use your legs, you are literally feeding your brain, and every time you sit still for hours, you're starving it. Your leg muscles also act as a second heart. When your calf muscles contract during walking, they squeeze blood upward through the veins, back toward the heart and brain. Researchers call this the musculovenous pump. When leg muscles are weak or inactive, this pump fails, blood pools, circulation to the brain decreases, cognitive function suffers, energy drops. The risk of stroke increases. This is why sitting for long periods is now being called the new smoking in cardiovascular research, not because of what sitting does directly, but because of what it takes away from leg muscle activity. You don't need a gym, you don't need a trainer, you need intention. Here is the minimum effective dose for older adults validated in multiple clinical trials. First, walk for 20到30分钟 Utes, 5 times per week. Not fast, not strenuous, just consistent. Even 10-minute walks 3 times a day produce equivalent benefits if walking longer is difficult. Second, do seated calf raises during TV commercial breaks. Sit in your chair, feet flat on the floor, lift your heels as high as you can, hold for 2 seconds, lower slowly, repeat 15 to 20 times. This alone activates the musculovenous pump and gets blood moving. Third, stand up every 30 to 45分钟 Utes, set a gentle timer. When it goes off, stand. Walk to the kitchen, walk to the window. Even 60 seconds of standing and moving is enough to restart the pumping action in your legs. Fourth, add a collagen peptide powder to your afternoon water or tea. Collagen is the scaffolding of your joints, tendons, and blood vessels. After 60, collagen production drops by up to 2% per year. Supplementing with 10 to 15 kilograms of hydrolyzed collagen daily has been shown to reduce joint pain, improve connective tissue in legs, and support blood vessel flexibility, making movement easier and more comfortable. Fifth, and this is the one that ties everything together, combine your hydration routine with your movement routine. Drink your morning mineral water, eat your protein breakfast, then take your walk, in that order every morning. This sequence, hydration, protein, movement, creates a biological cascade that supports circulation, feeds your muscles, triggers BDNF release, and sets your brain and body up for a stronger day. It takes less than 60分钟 Utes total, and over time, it changes everything. Which of these steps can you commit to starting tomorrow? Tell me in the comments. Even if it's just one step, that one step is where the change begins. Let me bring this full circle for you. We started with a simple glass of water, and we ended up at one of the most profound truths about aging: the small daily choices you make, what you add to your water, what you eat for breakfast, how many times you stand up and walk today, are quietly determining the person you'll be 5 years from now. Not a surgery, not a miracle drug, not a doctor visit. The pinch of mineral salt in your morning water, the tablespoon of beetroot that opens your blood vessels, the protein breakfast that tells your muscles to stay strong, the 20-minute walk that releases BDNF and feeds your brain, the calf raises during the commercial break. These are not small things. These are the building blocks of a life where you're still walking your own dog at 80, still living in your own home at 85, still sharp, present, and fully yourself at 90. That life is not guaranteed to anyone, but it's possible for you. Right now, today. I've seen it. I've watched people in their 70s and 80s transform the way their bodies feel, not by doing dramatic things, but by doing the right small things every single day. You are not too old to start. You are right on time. Here's what I need you to do right now. Number 1, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Every week on EverStrong, I share research-backed strategies just like these, designed specifically for adults over 55 who refuse to let age define their limits. This channel exists for you. Don't miss a single video. Number 2, drop a comment below right now. Tell me, how old are you? Where are you watching from? And what is one change from today's video you're going to try first? I personally read these comments. Your story matters. Number 3 is share this video with someone you love. A friend, a sibling, a parent, someone who needs to hear that stronger legs, better circulation, and a sharper mind are still within reach, no matter what age they are. That share could genuinely change a life. This is EverStrong, where we believe that strength isn't lost with age, it's built on purpose every single day. I'll see you in the next one. Morning hydration ritual. A pinch of sea salt or Himalayan pink salt in your first glass of water. 1 tablespoon of beetroot powder to boost nitric oxide for better blood flow, and 1 teaspoon of magnesium glycinate powder to support muscle function and circulation. Morning nutrition. 25 to 35 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking. Good sources include eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and smoked salmon. Afternoon and evening. 10 to 15 grams of collagen peptides in water or tea. Standing and walking briefly every 30 to 45 分钟. Utes and calf raises during TV time. 15 to 20 reps per commercial break. Daily movement minimum 20 to 30分钟. Utes of walking 5 days per week, or 30-minute walks, if longer duration is difficult.